What's the weirdest thing you've done with your so? One time we went on vacation in a coastal town and got absolutely sh-faced together. Our hotel was in a walking distance, so we went back after our shenanigans. We both hopped in the shower together and I sat on the floor because I wasn't feeling well. I jokingly said that she should help me throw up, and without missing a beat, she shoved her finger down my throat and I threw up all over both of us. Best place to be at that moment was the shower, so it all worked out. We've been married for 4 years. Every night after we are done cuddling and turn opposite ways to sleep, we press our buds together and make kissing noises like our buds are kissing each other goodnight. We were with a bunch of friends in the park, drinking. I had to go pee, so I went behind a bush and squatted down right on a nettle. My entire ass and vagina on fire. To relieve the pain and to stop the itching, my boyfriend spanked me continuously for at least 10 minutes. It helped though. An ex of mine once woke up, grabbed my morning wood and whispered preparing for takeoff and moved it like a flight stick. I have yet to have another girl make me laugh at my own pee like that. And no, she wasn't a pilot, and neither am I. One time when we got home from the bars and both had to pee, she sat and peed, but spread her legs enough to let me pee between them into the toilet. I knew she was the one. Watched out for cars coming while she had horrific diarrhea on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. Advice: do not leave the house for 24 hours after taking Dulcolax. My husband and I have a ritual where every night, after he gets out of the shower, he approaches me naked and allows me to cup his balls for 10 to 30 seconds. It's completely non-sexual, and I can't even remember when we started it, but it's a nightly occurrence now, and I get upset if he doesn't let me. My boyfriend let me aim for him while peeing once. I asked if I could help as a joke while I was in the bathroom for something else, and he's like, oh, it wasn't a no, and I'm the type to play chicken in the how weird will you let me get sense. So I took hold while quietly repeating I help. Okay, I help periodically. It's a lot harder to aim than it looks. By popular demand, I had to charge up to old phones to see what my previous gross notes were over the last 5 years. I've curated the best. Here we go. Let's mush slits. It's called deflowering because you part the petals of my labia. Put your little Red Riding Hood in my goodie basket. This one needs a bit of background. He hates nipples. The word, the concept, me touching his. He was telling me a heartwarming story about summers spent at his grandparents' house, how much he missed them, how they formed his childhood. I listened attentively as he described how his cousins were all there, the fun they had etc. Then I leaned over, caressed one nipple and swiftly said, were those there? Were my nipples at my grandparents' house? He was furious. How's your ex-organ? How's them DN balls? I can't wait to see that glistening head. Boner train go to choo choo tunnel. Gonna gym a taste of your special baby formula. Suckling noise. Let's make F. Living the dream. I like to wait until he's just about to fall asleep and then whisper weird pseudo-XL things into his ear. If they make him grossed out enough to say for F's sake, then I add it into a list in my phone and date it for posterity. Examples: where's that money meat? Jim that beef whistle, let's wiggle that wiener about. See if we can't get it to squirt something fun. He, in return, likes to ruin all the songs I like by changing the lyrics to be about our pug. Boys of summer, I can see you. Your fawn fur shining in the sun, you got your tail curled up. Pink harness on baby, I can tell you, your love for food will still be strong after the bowls of kibble are gone. We have our fun. We got super high one night and downloaded the PDF of the Cheesecake Factory menu and then continued to laugh for hours at how many pages and options there were. Hours. We pretend like we think the other can't see us in public places to embarrass each other. Like he'll be at the water fountain at the mall and he'll start waving his arms wildly and get more and more frantic to get my attention, even though he knows I see him. We are a little weird. He was dealing with really bad hemorrhoids for almost 2 weeks and he was absolutely miserable. I told him to drop his pants and lean over the bed, and I pulled his cheeks apart and inspected them and gave him a full report. I had the urge to lightly bite Ernie. Found out it's a very weirdly placed erogenous zone for her and she feels weird now. I do it from time to time. and it's only gotten more sensitive, so now it tickles her, but only if I lightly bite it. My ex and I had a weird little competition that endured 6 long years. Whenever we showered together we'd try to sneakily start peeing on the other one w/o them noticing. Bonus points for finishing completely or jetting him while facing each other. I could only really get him while he was shampooing, but his parts gave him an unfair advantage, so he definition won. We both got equally excited about shopping for sweaters for the cat. I think I broke him. His kid started calling the cat her brother. What have I done? We compete for first boop of the day, but neither bed boops nor car boops count, because bed boops are too easy, and car boops are dangerous, and we have competed for first boop of the year, boopies, when you poke a nose softly with your index finger. But why is very important and prestigious. If you lose first boop, you have to wait till next year for a chance. No best 2 out of 3 or any of that nonsense. I have won FBOT 4 out of 6 years that we have been playing. The first year we did FBOT, we practically fought for the boop and almost tripped over ourselves / poked our eyes out in the process. Plus it made the New Year's kiss very tense, because we each wanted to win first boop immediately after the kiss. So now we have a rule that FBOT can't actually be on January 1st or any day in the beginning of January, that we are officially celebrating New Year's, because it makes New Year's ultra competitive immediately. We waxed each other's butts with a home waxing kit. We just wanted to know what waxing was like, so we bought a kit at Walgreens and really went crazy with it. As weird as it sounds, it was actually kind of a sweet moment between us. We hadn't even been together a full year yet, and I had never been so intimate and vulnerable with another person before. But he didn't make fun of me or make me feel gross, he just did it. Then I repaid the favor and we both enjoyed our smooth butts together. I remember feeling so comfortable with him after that, like I could trust him with anything. She was short and had triple D's. She got down on all fours and I pretended to milk her like a cow. It was hilarious. We narrate our dogs in different accents. He does a French accent for our male dog, and I do a Spanish accent for our female dog. No idea why those were picked, it just kinda happened. He changed my pad for me. I was incredibly sick with the flu, coupled with the fact that I was on my period, so I was super miserable and fatigued. I was on the toilet trying to change my pad by myself at first, but then I guess I fell asleep or passed out. When I came to, my so was in the bathroom and asking me where I kept my pads. I told him, and he proceeded to change it for me, get me cleaned up and back in bed, put my meds and water on the bedside table and tuck me in. Then he went and made homemade chicken noodle soup. My so is an absolute saint. My ex and I were long distance for a few months before we got involved. During that time, we ended up getting competitive about who could eat the most spicy food. Mind you, we weren't together before she left and only got close while we talked online. So, when she came home, I invited her over, cooked, etc. At the end of dinner, I pulled out this spicy saucer and ate a big heaping spoonful. Being the competitive type, she did the same and quickly realized that the stuff wasn't a joke. After about 2 spoons each, we were both clutching our stomachs in pain. I eventually ran out to get some Pepto-Bismol. It really didn't do anything but make our puke pink, when we both decided the best answer was to stick our fingers down our throats and vomit. Still got laid. A year and a half we were married. We would pretend to not know each other when standing in line at bars or restaurants. One of us would try hitting on the other, while the other feigned non-interest. Me, hey girl, you come here often. I'm kind of attractive, so we should date. Oh, that's great, yeah. You're really something special. We tried to get the people around us to step in and white knight to protect the uninterested party, but we never got that to happen. Sometimes, we'd even make up unorthodox criteria that had to be met before we'd agree to go on a first date with the other. I only date men who are shorter than 5'5", but wear elevator shoes that make them look taller. My wife and I went shopping for a new perfume. My wife can't smell, or at least every smell and taste is muffled, so I was tasked with deciding which perfume she should buy. At the store the perfume lady took a tester, sprayed perfume on it, handed it to my wife who directly handed it over to me. I sniffed on it and declared, "No, that's not you. That's too pink." The perfume store lady seemed a little bewildered, but went on to the next bottle. The next one was too fruity, or orange or red, and we finally settled for a bright green and blue smell. Fresh, herbal fragrance. Meanwhile the perfume store lady was totally confused and asked in all politeness if we were screwing with her. So we told her how I always describe smells with colors to my wife, so she can have a sense of it. Best part of her constitution, she only notices the vibration of the couch when I rip one. Sometimes my and I will do this competitive thing where we scream into each other's mouths to see who can last. It's like a weird sort of open mouth kiss, and we stare bug-eyed at the other as we do. We mostly do this in front of friends when we want to get a cheap laugh. I always initiate it. We have what we call mlem wars. We will try to pin the other down and mlem their face, then blow on it to make it cold. I have no idea how this started, but we love it and have created various moves and techniques to aid us in our ongoing battle. The love mlem is a cruel attack as you believe your partner is leaning in for a kiss, but actually all you'll get is a swift tonguing up the cheek or down the neck, followed by a gust of cold air and a victorious giggle from the mlemmer. The cum mlem is a somewhat of a nasty attack whereby you wet your tongue up as best you can, loll it out, and then proceed to wipe it over their face at a slow pace. If you've pinned them down so they can't prevent this, then it is particularly nasty as it will be carried out slowly whilst making weird mooing sounds. Mlem wars since gave birth to us giving each other punishment mlems. Stop picking your thumb or you get a forehead mlem, for example. I'm just so glad I found someone as weird as me to enjoy this with.